Hi, and welcome to Work Tea with Molly. This is a podcast about what is going on in the work world, a little bit of work tea, if you will. I'm the host, Molly Marquard, and I am the creator of negotiatethis.org, Instagram, TikTok, website. I write articles and post career tips, negotiation tips. I have a negotiation course if you are a beginner negotiator or just want to brush up on the basics. That's at my website, negotiatethis.org. But but let's get into it. What is the work tea going on in the work world right now? If you said AI, you are on to something. Yes, AI is the buzzword for maybe the decade. And with my recent blog post, Why Women Aren't Leaning into AI, we are going to explore this topic and what AI means for women and how it impacts how they use it or how they don't use it in the work world. If you want to read the full transcript, you can go to the blog post on my website, negotiatethis.org. So recently, a stat was published that women are using AI at 25% the rate that men are using AI in the workplace. That's sort of how this all got started and stirred up in the first place, where women came to the forefront to say, either yes, we are, or no, we aren't, and these are the reasons why. I'm going to unpack some of the potential reasons why women are not using AI at the same rate as men in the workplace. So AI, it is the biggest boom since the dot-com era, or should we say, according to some, bubble to pop. Who knows? We will see if it will be the next bubble to pop, AI. But not leaning into AI is viewed as a weakness, especially as the headlines cover it. So the current climate and messaging poses that women will fall behind if they don't use AI at the rate of men. One headline reads, Women are avoiding AI. Will their careers suffer? Again, you can get all of the sources that I am talking about, the headlines that I am using at my blog, negotiatethis.org, if you want to read it in full. But right now, we'll continue and unpack this. So the argument is that if women don't use AI, it will hurt their careers, or at least that's what they want us to think. Although women may have good reason and sound rationale for being skeptical of this new technology, as it will and is reshaping the world as we know it. So instead of running toward it and scraping our knees in the process, women are taking the approach of learning how AI functions, some of its patterns, and looking out for potential faults and errors, of which it appears there may be many, and more than they originally at least told us about, or more than we anticipated, at least what has been packaged to the general public. So, what follows now is going to be an unexhaustive list of why women may not be leaning in as heavily to AI as men. First case, the first item of why women may not be leaning into AI like men is AI has many errors, we've come to find out. One recent example of AI errors uncovered is with Google. You know, Google, the main search engine in the world as we know it. I quote, a recent analysis of AI reviews found that they were accurate approximately 9 out of 10 times. That doesn't sound so bad. But with Google processing more than 5 trillion searches a year, this means that it provides tens of millions of erroneous answers every hour, or hundreds of thousands of inaccuracies every minute. That's a direct quote. So that means Google is wrong 10% of the time. The search engine of the people we're talking about, the one that's relied upon by millions, billions, trillions of searches every year. Wonderful. Not a big deal at all. Being sarcastic right there. So, okay, let's bring it back. Regular Google searches by regular people is not so bad, right? How high are the stakes? I mean, there could be worse AI errors happening, right? As long as workers aren't just mindlessly using Google AI, I'm sure AI is fine, right? Well, maybe not so fast. There are definitely worse AI errors beyond the Google AI search engine. And it would be one thing if just regular people were using AI and it had erroneous search results in it, which is still pretty bad because people use Google for a lot of items, and some of these items are quite serious. But we're also using it in our judicial system. One headline reads, AI hallucinations created errors in court filing, top law firm says. We've all heard online that they make up cases within the judicial system. And then once somebody has to dig into it, it is wrong. It's false. It's all made up. So, okay, that's one case. Now we know as long as we aren't using it in the courtroom and official judicial documents and using it to help create laws and to sentence people, then we're fine, right? Well, we also use AI in the medical field. AI fails at primary patient diagnosis more than 80% of the time, study finds. AI chatbots have improved their diagnostic accuracy when presented with comprehensive clinical information, but still failed to produce an appropriate differential diagnosis more than 80% of the time. Whoa. If it didn't alarm you that AI is being used in the judicial system erroneously, then the healthcare system should send us all running. What in the world? We are basically using AI unchecked, it feels like. And we're not even talking about specific professions. We're talking about the most important professions in the world where they are using AI, and it is wrong to potentially have extremely grave consequences. So, beyond that, these AI searches are not free either. Companies are spending a hefty price tag. Companies are spending big on agentic AI without always knowing what it does. That is a headline and a quote. Companies aren't prepared or even know what to do with it. They just want it. It seems like they just greedily want it, but they aren't prepared for the bill either, even after little payoff from AI in its current state. So it could be that women aren't embracing AI at the same rate because they don't want to partake in the errors that AI produces. And with evidence of it being error ridden and costly, taking a slower approach to AI could make more sense. So there's that. And as we know, AI is not free. Many companies are getting a bill. If there's a big bill, what is AI going to cue? Layoffs. So that brings me to the next point. AI is reducing jobs. We all know, we all read the headlines. AI is producing a substantial amount of layoffs, and they have taken place monthly, basically. 20,000 job cuts at Meta and Microsoft raise concern that AI-driven labor crisis is here, quote unquote. Companies are heavily investing in AI to the tune of billions of dollars. One recent example of this is Oracle. Oracle was struggling to find financing for Stargate, its $500 billion data center initiative with OpenAI. And then in February, Oracle announced a $50 billion debt raise to help fund its infrastructure build out. And then, as if you've been following the layoff news, one quick Tuesday morning in April, and one short email and 30,000 employees vanished off of Oracle's payroll to help bankroll their not yet performing AI ventures. So if you haven't quite picked up on it yet, AI isn't quite paying off yet for the investments that have been made into it. One headline says, tech companies are cutting jobs and betting on AI. The payoff is far from guaranteed. So companies are betting high on AI potential before seeing any substantial return. And they're laying off workers because of AI's potential and not AI's performance. So do we hope that their bets pay off for the sake of investors and the stock market in some roundabout way? Or would it help the common worker more if the potential of AI didn't pay off? Honestly, from this standpoint, it seems lose-lose. And because of the lose-lose potential, it may be a large factor in why women aren't exactly embracing AI at the same rate as men. Those are the first two topics of why women aren't leaning into AI in the workplace. I will continue in the next episode of a couple more reasons, and we unpack the impacts of AI and why women may not be embracing it. If you don't want to wait for that, you can go ahead and go to the blog negotiatethis.org and read the whole article to get all of the reasons. Also, if you are looking for career tips, negotiation tips, they're at negotiatethis.org, and a negotiation course. If you have a negotiation coming up, check out my course. You can cram it in a weekend if you need to get the talking points to feel confident in your next negotiation. Until next time, with more on why women aren't leaning into AI, this is Work Tea with Molly. Thanks for listening. Follow along, share a comment. I will read, and I hope you listen to the next one.